despite my rating from yesterday's episode being lower than what a finale should get, I have to admit that this last episode of season 4 really makes up for it for how perfectly executed everything is. Following the events from the last episode, Steven and the Crystal Gems work together in order to free the Beach City citizens from Aquamarine and Topaz, which it's been revealed that Steven is the reason on why Aquamarine and Topaz have come to Earth to capture humans in order to take them to Homeworld. Upon the reveal that Peridot sent the information to Aquamarine and Topaz to capture the humans that Steven mentioned, to tell you the truth, this reveal really made me appreciate of how the events of Season 5 have kickstarted Steven trying to take responsibility for what he caused. And even though that the Crystal Gems don't blame him completely, unlike the times from the earlier seasons, he can't be able to process everything in such a short amount of time. Granted, the majority of the episode after being inside of Topaz, he tries to use his bubble powers, which took time for him to do, but he manages to succeed. And after managing to get almost every single Beach City citizen out of Aquamarine's ship, it doesn't change the fact of how powerful Aquamarine is by her powers of freezing people, including the bigger enemies like Alexandrite. Let me just say for a fact that for how dark this episode is, you can tell that the sunset, along with Steven coming with Aquamarine and Topaz to be in a trial with Leto and Blue Diamond. I was really hooked with this type of stuff when I first watched this episode during my first binge watch. That's how much I really appreciate this finale being a lot more darker, for how they're taking Steven's character a lot more seriously. If you ask me, even if he and the Beach City citizens manages to escape, it doesn't change the fact that Aquamarine will still come back, and Steven has no other choice but to come with Aquamarine and Topaz. And if it wasn't the case at all, then I'm pretty sure that this finale wouldn't be dark and we wouldn't be able to get the events of the Season 5 premiere. Not to mention that Lars would have stayed on the ship regardless, so in all honesty, it's a huge lose situation. Well, it could lead to a different event of Steven and the gang trying to find a solution to save Lars, which is going to be a lot more complicated than how they saved Greg in the zoo episodes. But to be perfectly real with you, it made me appreciate all the elements coming together when it comes to the character progression of so many characters. Believe me, I am looking forward to talk about Season 5 premiere episodes when it came to Steven and Lars being in Gem Homeworld for the first time, which is really saying something because the first half of Season 5 works out the way it is, and when it comes to the second half, it goes downhill, but mainly with some episodes that are worthwhile, but that's before the wedding episode, or mainly after a single pair of roles. But as far as I'm concerned, Season 5 was a huge mixed bag when it comes to people's perspectives towards this show. Believe me when I say this, when I enjoy a finale that is dark in comparison to the other finales, which are mostly dark when it comes to the last episodes of Season 1, it sums up a lot of how the show is changing for the better when it comes to character development. And even though that there were aspects that are being that are holding them back that I've mentioned before, I'll admit that it had great ideas and they're willing to make them work out once they're revealed. Even though that Season 5 isn't the best season from this show, mainly of how rushed it is when it comes to the second half, I will admit that the ideas it has are promising, and for the very least, they at least try to work of what they had. Believe me, Season 5 is going to be a roller coaster when it comes to my experiences with it having more episodes to review, well, except from Season 1 that had the most episodes I reviewed from this marathon. To point out, there are 22 episodes to review from Season 5, with the rest of this month along with the first week of September. Believe me, for almost a month, it's gonna be a wild ride to talk about Season 5 episodes, since I had the least to talk about, since I've only talked about the Carniverse episodes. Believe me, I am looking forward to make this marathon interesting, since that, well, more than halfway wrapping everything up, with only 30 plus reviews to wrap up everything. Well, close to 40, but still. I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10.